So we're not in our basement, and we're not in our usual element, but we are in Headline's gracious space right outside of our studios, and we are going to attempt to try to keep up with this. We have Reed Mouse, the lovely Reds fan, as we all know, is helping us produce, and he's yelling at us right now. What is he yelling at us?
What does that read? Oh, sorry. It's not used to not being able to.
That's right.
See the screen.
It's called we're not in mid-season form, okay? And we're also not in our element. I have a good feeling come what would it be, Saturday? Not to make excuses.
Maybe Sunday. Well, give me one,
Sunday?
I need one day in my actual element before
Sunday.
I'll feel good about.
Nick said he's going to be on his game.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that Suter's out here. He's just closing the door.
Long reliever.
Yeah. I'm not a big stat guy, as you know, but if you get 6 outs, don't you get a save? Despite the score, is that
I think it's 9. I think Reed's
9
right.
outs.
Yeah.
Damn.
They have to go 3 innings.
Fair enough. That's an out. I like how Ellie was.
We already got 2 outs. Okay.
Yeah, we got 2 outs.
2
outs.
Our outs aren't showing up on our thing.
We don't have outs anymore.
We don't have outs anymore.
Yeah, that makes life a little easier.
Okay.
It's just all we got is we got bases and we got bases and inning. Bases, innings, score.
All right.
But I will let everybody know if you really want to know. There's 2 outs.
Okay.
Lefty on lefty matchup. I like our chances. I also like the fact that my man Suter's coming in hometown, drove his kids to the game today, closing it down. That's what a story.
I didn't update the bottom bar either. I'm really not in mid-season form here.
Two strikes. The crowd has risen to their feet. Man, if they're all like this, what a great year it'd be.
Yeah, I mean, you just win every night 8-2.
Oh! Wanted it. That's a true professional behind the plate. He's seen a ball. Oh, man. Full count. 2 outs. Strike 3. See ya. You know what time it is. It's time to do a show. Reed, hit the intro. Let's go.
And a bench to bench. Change hit in the air to deep right field. Back goes Clemente. And the pitch. He's done. Get out of here, baseball. He's gone. Oh, my God. Can you believe it? Johnny Bench has tied it out. The Cincinnati Reds win the World Series in 4 straight. It was a sweep. In the dirt. It's a wild pitch. Here comes Boston. The Reds win the pennant. Larkins won the game. That ball is fair. Cincinnati's ahead. 2 games to none. Welcome, Joe Randa to Cincinnati. Adam Dunn has done it again. Benzinger backing and calling. And the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds.
Marty, yes. This is Adam from Milwaukee. Hey, Adam, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? Good. Do you think Scott Chatterbox is a good player?
Dunn up there with the bases loaded, the outfield deep and around toward right, and the 1-0 on the way to the plate. Swung on, long drive, right field, and this one belongs to the Reds.
And a high drive, hit back into deep right field. Junior has just knocked the door down to the 500 club.
Benson's first home run is a walk-off winner. That ball had a family.
And De La Cruz is, oh my goodness, look at this kid run. My, oh my, that is a triple.
Matt McClain's first big league bomb.
Spencer Steer's first big league hit is a home run to straightaway center field. Joey Votto's done it again.
The pitch. Votto swings.
15th career go-ahead ribby. Only Johnny Bench had more as a Red.
And I can't tell you how much it means to play in front of everyone here in Cincinnati as a Red. What a gift. What a tremendous gift. So thank you. Thank you.
I think I can speak for all of Reds country. Joey Votto, thank you.
High drive, left center field, racing back to the line, Bourgeois. The Reds are National League Central Division champions. In the air, left center field. Did he? He did! He did! Red win! Line to the right field. Did it! The first Red ever with 4 home runs in a game. Can you believe it? In the air, down the right field line. Doesn't have a chance. The Reds have won on a 3-run home run on opening day by Ramon Hernandez. A strike away and out away is Homer Bailey. Ground ball to third. Frazier gloves. Throw to first, and Homer Bailey, for the second time in his major league career, has tossed the no-hitter. Oh, gosh. Are you kidding me? Holy Moses, the second player in major league history to hit 7 home runs in the first 10 games. In the air, and the Reds win. What a dream beginning to the career of Jay Bruce.
Okay. I see you all. I see what you're saying. I see you're saying the intro may be long, maybe it's not. We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll shorten it, but maybe we won't. Okay? But there's one thing I got for you. I plan on doing that about 88 more times. Nick, how many wins would that give us if I do it 88 more times?
89.
89. Big brain. Do you see how big of a brain Nick
2
has?
hours of sleep, baby.
Wow.
Still.
What a big
still
brain
made it
Nick
work.
has. It took him every bit of a minute and a half right there to answer what I thought was a simple
All right,
question.
well, let's hold up here about the intro complaints. Let's go and address it. Let's get it knocked out.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
mean, there's some people saying it's too
So
long.
your choice is you can watch Reds live. We've had the TV on here in the background. They are still in commercial break. They went all the way through commercial break. You got to listen to some of the greatest Reds calls of all time for 4 minutes. You also get a more prepared show because we have about 4 minutes to kind of catch our breath, update some of the stuff. So, again, you can turn on Reds Live and watch King Kong commercials if you'd like.
A couple quick things here. Just housekeeping items as always. Just want to remind people, I know it's been a while. I'm so glad to see so many familiar faces in the chat. But as you know, likes. Okay? If you could like the stream, it's going to help us Saturday. Now, you might not believe that right now. You might think that's all propaganda. You might think that I'm just making this stuff up. But scientifically proven last year, of course, that there's a couple things that happen when you like the stream. One, we win more games. That's number one. Number two is it helps us, which in return, hopefully will help you. There's a lot of things that happened today. When you close your eyes at night as a Reds fan last night, and you can just dream up a scenario of how today was going to go, it's as close to as well as it could have gone outside of scoring like 15 to 20 runs. However, I would say if you scored 15 to 20 runs, you know how that goes in baseball. Usually that next game comes around and it doesn't really work in your favor. So I'm actually kind of thankful they didn't just pile on after the 7-run burst there in the first few innings. But I'm glad to be back. I'm great to be back. Nick's here. We are a little out of our element. We know that. We're trying to figure out how to do some of the rituals that many come to expect. But we'll figure it out. We'll find a way. Nick, welcome to opening day. I'm going to do my best not to look at you because I know that it probably will look confusing to the audience.
It is a little different. It's exciting to be here in lovely Hamilton, Ohio, in Chatterbox Studios.
Yes.
Got to start the day off at Great American Ballpark. A fun day, and Reds baseball is back. Reds are 1-0. Look, there's nothing better than a win on opening day because you don't play the next day. and you get a whole day to celebrate the win. There's nothing worse than a loss on opening day because you have a whole day to wall up and feel sorry for yourself. We got a whole day to feel good. Just a nice all-around performance by the Reds. We'll get into it. Frankie Montas looked great. Maybe the Reds know what they're doing with keeping Nick Martini around. Just a fun day for Reds baseball. We're back, Trace.
We are back. Before you do this song and dance and you parade around and talk about the Martini thing, can we all admit now that it wasn't that difficult of a decision after the injuries? If they would have kept him as the true 26th man, you were allowed to basically do the whole parade, okay? There was already one parade today. We don't need another one, all right? Let's keep it at that. I know you're excited about how great the Reds organization is and how they kept Nick Martini around, but he wasn't the 26th man, okay? We'll wait till Saturday, and we'll start bragging about Bubba Thompson then, all right? We'll save that. We have a lot to get into. As you can tell, we have the rundown in the middle. We have kind of a new look, per se. We're going to try to continue to add on to that. Hopefully we can continue to make this show worthwhile, and we really do genuinely appreciate this many people tuning into our goofy show. Moving forward, the box score recap, we'll go through that. Traditionally, Nick does a pretty incredible rundown through the entire game. Most people have already seen the game today, so we won't do the usual song and dance, but some of the top performers, Nick.
Yeah, Frankie Montas, I mean, you really could not have asked for much better. Already screwed up. He had 4 Ks, not 6, so sorry about that if you're watching. It'll be cleaned up in the podcast version in the morning, of course. But Nick Martini, the story of the day, really, I guess Montas 1A, Martini 1B, 2 home runs. A lot of people were surprised he was in the lineup. I try to tell people I will take a little bit of a victory lap. I said I think he's going to play a lot against right-handed pitching. He has great career numbers against right-handed pitching. I know it's a small sample, but when you're, he's a big left-handed bat, and in this ballpark, he has a lot of value. We'll get into him more lately. Spencer Steer, great day. Ho-hum, 2 for 3. He had a double. Jake Friedl, really great day. Emilio Pagan, maybe the only sour spot. He struggled in his Reds debut, did give up 2 runs. Didn't have enough time to add Brett Suter to the rundown. The MLB folks haven't updated his image, so I didn't want to put in a crappy Milwaukee Brewers or Colorado Rockies or whatever the hell his image is, but he had a great day. Perfect 2 innings, 4 strikeouts. Can't do much better than Suter did on opening day.
No. Like I said, when you laid your head down last night, I don't know if there's a whole lot more that you could have asked for. It seemed like everybody kind of got in on the parade. We'll get to Candelario a little bit here in a moment. But again, from the Reds' perspective, we talked about this time and time again, just getting off to a good start. Let's be honest, this first series is a team that they should handle, but you just don't know. This is baseball. Last year, I think, if I remember right, this team got swept by the Pirates in like a 4-game series. And then I think they turned around and then they swept the Rangers somehow, some way. That's just the way baseball goes. So moving forward here, I think the first obviously, I don't know if it would be a just show if we didn't talk about Nick Martini first. I know Montas, which we argued how you say his name, for every bit of an hour today. Hopefully throughout the course of the season we can figure out the actual 100% right pronunciation of Montas. Montas. We'll figure it out. But Martini specifically ran into some pitches that quite frankly they were bombs. They were legitimate bombs. I know today we might not have the graphic, but that was without question the deep drive of the game, presented by DSC.
DSC is a leader in renewable commodities for biofuel production, specializing in used cooking oil collection, aggregation, and sales. Visit www.deepsouthcommodities.com.
That's right.
Nick Martini, he's a DSC guy. The Reds really squared up Josiah Gray.
Yeah.
But this was an all-star last year. I mean, I know he was the lone Washington Nationals
right.
all-star, so he put an asterisk by it. But this is a guy that the Washington Nationals are really counting on as a cornerstone piece of their organizations, and the Reds hit him really hard today. Nick Martini, I think, just shows what value he could bring to this team. Just as another left-handed power bat, especially if you're putting him 8th in the lineup. I mean, a guy that has that kind of power, I think he could be a big part of the team this year. So I don't want to go too far on Nick Martini and say these incredible. Obviously, we saw Derek Dietrich have an incredible start, and then he tailed off. We have seen players like that before, but I think Nick Martini's got a role in this team, at least for the time being, especially when you're down Friedl and McLean. He could be a really nice bat for the Reds to just kind of lengthen the lineup and really provide some real pop at the bottom of the lineup.
Well, the one positive thing is that you're going to get some games to where, the reason that you won, per se, was not one of the guys that you expected to be there, if you will, for this team all season long. And Martini's this guy, certainly, if I'd have told you, hey, Nick Martini's probably going to be one of the main reasons, if not the main reason, they went on opening day. And I get that, don't get me wrong, I get that the bullpen and then obviously Montas, they kind of made it to where that was part of the story as well, as why they won. But there's only been basically 2 guys before today that's hit 2 home runs on opening day, having multi-home run games. One, Adam Dunn, he did it twice, and then Frank McCormick did it in 1941. So now you add in Nick Martini to that list. That's pretty rare air. I mean, there's a lot of guys that have obviously played for the Reds. There's a lot of guys that played on opening day. That's one of those days where, if we're being honest, everybody that's in Nick Martini's hometown and everybody that Nick Martini's surrounded by, his family, his friends, when he's old and retired and no longer playing 20 years later, they will tell the story of today. Like, they're going to be like, Nick Martini, he hit 2 home runs on opening day for the Cincinnati Reds in the year 2024.
This is the Nick Martini game. I mean,
yes.
it's and I will add, when we were down at spring training, I was talking with Charlie Goldsmith. This was actually like the 2 days before the Friedl injury. This was before we had any idea that Matt McLean was going to miss significant time. And I was asking about the 26th man at that point, and he said it's for sure Martini. He said the Reds absolutely love this guy. So I don't think it was really like he just was on this roster by default. I think he was going to. I think the Reds had planned on him probably being on the roster at the start of camp, just based on what Charlie told me. And today you see why the Reds have some belief in him. But look, the more he keeps playing, the more he keeps hitting. I mean, he had over a 900 OPS in his small sample last year.
Yeah,
a small sample becomes a bigger sample as time keeps going on, and he's proven that he has a spot, and I'd keep running him out there against right-handed pitching until he proves otherwise.
I agree wholeheartedly. He hit some big home runs last year, and we all talked about that. One specifically against the Cubs, obviously, that we all remember. Montas, this is going to bother me all year long until I 100% figure out how to say this guy's name, but I don't want to say it was. I don't think it was a huge debate on whether or not he should have started opening day. When he was announced opening day starter, I don't think there was that many folks that were really overly kind of pessimistic about that idea. It just became a little bit of a shock, largely because you have a guy in Hunter Green that you felt like was a part of your young core. He's going to be here for a little while. He started on opening day last year. You just kind of feel like you'll pencil him in again. Ho-hum, Montas isn't expected to actually start on opening day, so he doesn't have any expectations coming in. In fact, Montas even asked David Bell once he told him, hey, you're going to be our opening day starter. He said, are you sure? Which probably made David Bell maybe question whether or not he should give him the ball or not, but it all worked out. Again, I'm not trying to be overreactionary here a little. Let's face it, Washington Nationals, by the way, I want to send my condolences. Some of this is funny. Some of it's not funny. Take it however you wish, but my condolences go to Nick Senzel. I don't know how this happens. I really don't. I mean, the guy's cursed. If we're going to be honest, the guy's cursed. Great American Ballpark should be. I'm not going to do the joke because it's a joke that might get me in trouble. But like you know what they do to some people that are not very nice people to certain areas where they're just not allowed to go there anymore. Like you can't be within this certain distance of a school. I'm just saying, he shouldn't be allowed anywhere near Great American Ballpark, okay? If his agent, which I believe, I don't know who it is, is it Boris off the top of my head? I don't know. But regardless, he's not allowed to go anywhere near Great American Ballpark. My man gets hurt fielding ground balls before the game, breaks his thumb, by the way, so he's probably going to be out pretty significant time. And, of all the guys I was worried about on this Nationals team, it was him. But my larger point is that I don't know how good this Nationals team is. So I don't want to act like Montas went out there and shut the Dodgers down per se. But he did look good. which is all we can ask.
Yeah, the Nats stink. I mean, Jesse Winker's batting third for this team. I mean, they're projected to win 58 games, but this is a game that counts against a major league team. You couldn't pitch much better than he did today. When the Reds signed Montas,
Is that what you're going with?
Montas.
Montas?
Montas.
Montas?
Oh, man. Now it's so in my head, I can't even. Montas. When the Reds signed Montas, this is brutal.
Just say it.
When the Reds signed Frankie.
I think it's Frankie.
Go
Go ahead, Nick. Way to butcher the man's name. He just threw like 6 shutout innings for us.
One of the
And
best
you're out
opening
here-
day starts
yeah,
of all time.
and you're just butchering this guy's family name. Good for
But anyways,
you.
when the Reds signed him, I think I don't know. I can't remember, Trace, if you really agree with this full take. I kind of thought this is a lottery ticket for the Reds. You sign this guy on a 1-year deal. It's not a guy you have to commit a lot to, but he's a guy that clearly has some upside. He was finished pretty high in the Cy Young votings 1 year. He was an all-star, and this is the upside. So I think that if this guy could stay healthy, I think he's a quality pitcher. Is he an elite top of the rotation pitcher? I don't know. We'll wait and see when he faces some better competition. But he looks like a legitimate bona fide starter, which that's great value for what the Reds got for him for such a small commitment. So big step in the right direction in game number 1. And you know the thing that I'm now interested in on Saturday is Hunter Green didn't get the ball on opening day. He watched Frankie. I'm just gonna call him Frankie all year. That seems like my best way to go. But Hunter was watching Frankie, and you hope that it lights a little bit of a fire in Frankie, and maybe there's a little bit of a fun little competition with these guys, and that's what the Braves. I'm not saying Frankie and Hunter are.
Yeah. Watch out, Nick Kirby comparing them to the
Are
Braves.
Maddox, Glavine, and Smoltz, but they all fed off each other. That's what good rotations do, and you hope that Hunter can kind of just take the ball and carry this through against a bad Nationals team, and you can win a series right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't want to make too much of it, as I said before, but he has the ceiling to be an elite arm, right? That's the hope. You don't know for sure because you clearly, when you come back from injury, you never know. But the guy has been a part of Cy Young conversations before. Hopefully, he'll be a part of Cy Young considerations again this year. But as I said before, maybe there's something from going to Oakland, struggling in New York, coming to Cincinnati. Maybe it's the Sonny Gray train. We'll find out. I don't know. This is a little bit of I don't want to say a Debbie Downer topic, but you have Candelario who came over. It's one game. I get it. But maybe there was nerves involved. Certainly didn't look good today. Struck out 3 times. At least he avoided the golden sombrero there. He kind of, I don't want to say flailed a ball to left field, but it was a pretty weakly hit ball to left field. Not going to overreact. Is it semi-concerning? Of course, it's always semi-concerning when a guy struggles a little bit in the spring and then comes out the first game, strikes out 3 times. But I'm not going to make a whole lot out of it. I know some will. I know you're not.
I mean, it's one game. Reds won 8-2. Let's not worry about Candelario. I think it becomes less of an issue how well he performs early in the year if other guys around him are performing well. If everyone starts struggling, then you're going to really start dialing in on the one guy that got the big contract for the Reds. He started really slow in spring, looked pretty good the last week and a half, 2 weeks. Look, this is a guy that has a pretty good long track record. I don't think he's going to be a star hitter. I don't think he's going to have a 900 OPS or anything like that. But I think he's a quality veteran bat in the middle of your order. Let's give him some time. But I mean, yeah, there's not really a whole lot more to make of that at this point, in my opinion.
I totally agree. Couple quick super chats here that we got earlier that I want to make sure that we get to. Gift said, great to be back. Love Nick and Trace. We love you too, Gift. Thank you. Ricky, he's been a member for 5 months. Said the 2024 World Series champs. Likes equals dubs. Smash
Let's go,
it.
Ricky.
Thank you, Ricky. And he's not wrong because it's scientifically proven. If you like the stream, we win more games. Mark Fetter said, let's go wire to wire. I'm not opposed to it. I think in 1990 I was not really. Well, I was alive, but I was nowhere near close to being old enough to know what was going on. I wonder if, for those that could maybe share in the chat, 1990, Was this out of the blue? Never assumed at all. No chance in the world that a team like that would go wire to wire. Maybe one time in my life that will happen. We shall find out. A. Willis says the 2024 season is finally here. I am from Hamilton, so I don't have the stuff for a martini, or I drink one after that. Glad to have y'all back. Hey, you're from Hamilton, so you can say Hamilton. That's how that works. Hoosier Daddy says, feels great to be back, and this one belongs to the Red. Thank you, Hoosier Daddy. Hoosier Daddy is he's the roller coaster man. He's the roller coaster man. I know for a fact if the Reds would have lost today somehow, some way, 3-2, Hoosier Daddy, season's over. But wire to wire now. That's what my favorite thing about this chat is.
And there was no left-handed pitcher, so he didn't have to
That's
see Stuart
true.
Fairchild today. So Hoosier Daddy's in a great mood.
Wait till Saturday.
Yeah, wait till Saturday. We'll see how it goes. But it's good to have Hoosier Daddy back. It would be fun if Nick Martini kind of becomes a thing, and maybe there's some specials downtown. The
I'm sure they
Martini
will.
special,
Yeah.
that'd be a fun little thing. But before we go any further,
Shaken, not stirred.
the Cardinals lost 7-1 to the Dodgers. So there you go. Even a better way to start the season.
Nice. Yeah. Well, I was told that the Cardinals were really, really good. Now, I know they're playing the Dodgers, so I will hold my judgment. But I'm going to continue to watch the Cardinals, and my hope is that they are the Patriots, to where, they were good for a long time, so everybody just kept saying, oh, they're the Patriots, they're the Patriots. And then all of a sudden you realize that they're just terrible. Hopeful that's the case for the Cardinals. We shall find out together. Real quick, there is a significant amount of people in here. I just want to say thank you very much for really consuming our stuff. If you have not yet, we do a podcast every single day. It is on every podcast platform humanly possible. If you are aware of it and you have not given us a review yet, if you could do that, that helps us out as well, algorithm-wise. And before we get into Ty Stevenson framing, which is something I want to talk about, I'm going to tell you about the Game Time app. Game Time, first probably national brand that gave us a chance, so shout out to them. I've used their product, their platform, multiple times to buy tickets last minute. I even seen some people got into today's game last minute through the Game Time app. Use the code CINCY, that's CINCY, as a promo code inside the Game Time app. You'll get $20 off your first purchase, and that is CINCY. Download the Game Time app and use code CINCY. So thank you to them. I have been very critical of Tyler Stevenson, okay? And I will admit today, am I sold yet? No. But I am very optimistic, and I am very encouraged what I've seen. Like, he does look a lot more comfortable back there. Now, maybe some of that's because of Montas, and he was able to hit his spots, and he felt comfortable back there with him specifically. We'll see how he looks with other guys. But you know what? When guys get better at doing things, or when they maybe exceed my expectations, I'm not going to continue just to drill these guys. I will give Tyler Stevenson some credit. He looked better. Now, this is day one, so come back and see me in a month. But this is day one. I liked what I seen.
Tyler Stevenson also had the hardest hit ball of the day, 108
Yes,
off
he
the
did.
bat. That was 3 miles an hour fast, harder than anyone in the entire game. And Trace, you were right on this as we're watching the game live. You asked, had Tyler Stevenson hit a ball harder all last year? He only had one the entire year harder than that. So, I thought he caught a good game today. Also hit the ball really hard. I wonder as the season goes on, will Luke Maile maybe take a little bit of pressure off of Tyler Stevenson? I expect Maile to start on Saturday. I think he caught Hunter Green's last spring training start, so it seems pretty obvious that's how they're going to shake it out. I wonder if Tyler Stevenson was batting like third in the lineup last year. I know we've talked about this a lot, but he was batting right in the middle of the lineup. Now he's batting ninth. He has someone else that can catch. I think there's going to be a lot less pressure on him this year to be great. We don't need Tyler Stevenson to be great. We need Tyler Stevenson just to be like a slightly above average hitting catcher, play average defense. He does both of those things. He's a really, really good player for the Reds, especially. Not to get into contracts and all that. He's not earning any money. You can't find someone that can do that on the open market.
Correct. I would say he can't be a liability, right? Like
Yes.
that's the main point. Is like you can't continue to watch him catch and just start to cringe or start to beg for him to be average. That's all. And I think that we'll find out. I mean, he has an opportunity to bounce back and give this team a huge, significant lift. You said you think Maile kind of gives him comfort. I would argue, I mean, but it works both ways. I would argue it does the opposite in a little bit of a way. It could push him to try to make sure that, hey, I got a guy behind me that's more than capable of, I don't want to say take his job, but quite honestly, take plate appearances and take game action away from him. Luke Maile, I think, is a very good backup. One could argue that if Luke Maile got the same opportunities as Tyler Stevenson, maybe he can produce similar numbers, if not better. That's here nor there. We'll find out. They're going to stick with Tyler Stevenson because I think that they felt like he was a foundational piece not that long ago, and they're not going to give up on him. But you know what? One thing that you did do, you said, Trace, we got to be serious on this sports talk show. We have to do podcasts. We got to make sure that when we cut this up, I don't have to work into the midnights trying to edit this stuff out. But when you have Michael Rolfe, it's kind of hard to do that, Nick. I'm trying my best to do a serious sports talk show right now, and I look down and I see this big blue blob in the middle of the chat, and it's Michael Rolfe, and immediately under I see Michael Rolfe is still rich. You're damn right he is. You know why? Because he just dropped a 50 bomb in the super chat, and he said this one belongs to the Reds. Way to go, Trace and Nick. Great work on the expansion of Chatterbox brand. Tons of people in here watching. Like the stream, people. It's what makes it possible. Michael Rolfe just gets it, Now, he's got a lot of money, but he also gets it. So like the stream. Michael, thank you very much. You don't have to keep doing this. I mean, you don't have to. Now, if you want to, you can. But we'll still love you regardless. Money doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy a lot of things that can make you happy. Just saying.
I would want to take a second, and we got all night. We can do whatever we want tonight. I don't have kids at home. I'm staying at my parents' house. They're out.
Now you're blaming the kids now.
They're out in Florida. Well, I just say that. I have no obligations. I'll cut this up for hours, especially if there's 360 people watching. I tell you what. I mean, we started this last year. There was 25 people watching on opening day.
Unbelievable.
This show helped us. I think with 1410. We were at Great American Ballpark on the radio this morning, and we made the decision to not go to opening day today. It would have been fun to go to opening day. A lot of people said, Nick, you coming to opening day? I said, no, I want to come, and I want to do a quality show, as quality as we possibly can. Certainly wouldn't have been able to do anything of decent quality downtown. But the fact that there's 360 people watching, that to me, it makes me so happy, and I'm so appreciative, and it makes me go, man, I sure as hell made the right decision to come to the lovely Chatterbox Studios and try to have a great show for you guys.
Yeah, and I love the fact that we have people now in the chat who have the bits already. Because you do not need Pfizer, okay? You do need Martini. If you want a boost in your life, if you need any kind of pick-me-up, you don't need Pfizer. You just don't. You need Martini. He's done it time and time again. This man continues to elevate the city of Cincinnati when you least expect it. And I did not come in today. I tell you right now, when I was drinking my cold coffee that I got down there at Great American Ballpark, I did not expect for a single minute that Martini was going to be the reason that I was floating on cloud 9. But here I am. Shout out to Nick Martini. Love him. And I love his family. So kudos to him. Who's your daddy coming in with another super?
That hurts. Come on.
What?
Do you know who Patrick Kivlahan is?
What'd he say?
Sir,
oh, he's being disrespectful.
This is Stewart on opening
listen,
day.
You got to focus up.
Stewart was cheering hard on the bench today.
Yeah, what a great cheerleader he was.
Emotional support leader in that clubhouse.
You know those dogs that they have that roam around? Those emotional support dogs? That's what Stewart is.
Please, God, hit a home run on Saturday, Stewart. Please do it.
We'll find out. But shout out Nick Martini, so kudos to him. But, all right, more important, anything else that you took away from this game? Obviously, it's one day, one game. You're looking forward to Saturday a little bit, I guess. We can get into that to a certain extent. But anything else that sticks out to you?
I mean, just the length of the lineup without Friedl and McLean. I mean, this is still a very long lineup. The concern will be, do they have enough well above average hitters? I think that 1 through 9, everybody is capable of being an above average hitter, including Tyler Stevenson. I believe that he can be above average. The question is guys like CES, Jake Fraley, Will Benson, Ellie De La Cruz, Spencer Steer, Can they take that next step to be, okay, you're a big league hitter. Now can we have a couple of these guys separate themselves and become, I don't think I'm going to say elite hitters. I think that might be pushing it too far, but be all-star caliber hitters. Yeah. That's what I think will determine how good this team is this year. If everyone does their average and everyone kind of stays healthy, this team will be competitive. They'll compete for a playoff spot. If you have a couple guys, I think, separate themselves and become all-star caliber hitters, then I think you have a team that can actually really win the division and maybe even make some noise in the postseason.
Chad Ellie Waits brings up something that I wanted to say to you. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Extend Jonathan India for 12 years, blank check. That's what he said. We're not endorsing that. But what I will say is that he made plays today. He made plays today. All right. If he continues to make the plays, I'm here for it. And I will be Jonathan India. I will be a Jonathan India stan moving forward because he's available. He's there. Can I say it? Am I allowed to say it? He's a leader.
Leader men.
He's a leader. And if he's out there and he's available, I'll take it.
And credit to him, he barely played second base the entire spring training.
That's right. Barry did say during the broadcast, I don't know if many of you know, but Barry Larkin, very astute, great broadcaster. And by great broadcaster, I mean great shortstop. What I was going to say was he brought up that since he thinks that since India didn't play second base all year, he played other positions, that he got better at second base. Do you believe that?
That's a wild take.
Hey.
I might need a little bit more of a sample size on that one, Barry. But I can't say that I agreed with that one. Barry, I think Barry hit his word count in like the 5th inning. I know I already made this joke to you, but I didn't make this joke to the 300 people watching.
Yeah, he might have. Maybe he was on the radio. Did they switch it up?
He went out for 2 innings. Well, they did have Welsh today, so maybe that was pre-planned.
Possibly.
And they said, Barry, go. I don't know. Maybe there was some big exec, and they need Barry to go shake some hands.
I think Barry was in mid-season form. Barry was in mid-season form today. Shout out to Larkin. But that was a dynamite drop-in he had about the idea that he thought that the difference this year was that Jonathan India didn't actually play second base, so he thinks it freed him up. He's going to play better second base now. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I might be right. Other than that, I don't have a huge takeaway from the idea that I am playing the Nationals. If we could figure out how to get them on the schedule more, that would be nice.
They did sweep us last year.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Let's not go too far.
Yeah, I guess the series is not over, so I better shut up. But for those that are looking at the schedule, if the Reds can be around 500 at the end of May, I love our chances. I love the spot that the Cincinnati Reds would be in. Not just because you get Friedl back, or around that time frame you would get Friedl back. And, again, I think we can all agree that McLean is probably out for the season. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here, but I think you can read between the lines, and we all know what that looks like. But the May schedule that this team has is very tough. There's probably, I don't even know if there's a team in May that you could say will not make the postseason or isn't likely to make the postseason that they would play. So every win they add up, as we all know, it's 162. But opening day is more special. It just is. I'm not saying it doesn't count for more than one win, but it feels like it counts for more than one win.
Yeah, I mean the vibes would not be high right now if they lost to the Washington Nationals on opening day, even though it wouldn't really mean a whole lot. The vibes would be high. You're talking about the difficult schedule coming up. If Nick Lodolo can get back and healthy, I'm going to feel a lot more confident about the Reds playing some of these more difficult teams because Nick Lodolo is going to replace someone on a rotation that already is pretty good. So, while yes, the Reds are going to play some really good teams, I think my hope is they're going to be able to avoid any sort of losing streaks, which I think is kind of what did the Reds in last year. The 12-game winning streak got them into the race, but they had some of these like little skids that just kind of, if they wouldn't have lost 5 in a row and they'd only lost 3 of 5 or something like that, they probably are in the playoffs at the end of the year. So, it's going to be hard to beat a team 5 times in a row, whoever's playing them. If, you have Frankie Montas, Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo. I think Nick Martinez, man, I tell you what, I'm excited about him pitching on Sunday. He looked great in spring. I'm really interested to see what the Reds do with him this year. I thought he was just a complete guy that was going to be back and forth. I think the Reds had planned on that going in, but because there was some injuries, they wanted him stretched out, and he pitched so well in spring. They're like, well, we have to give him a chance at this point, and he deserves it. And I hope he runs with it because he's a guy that clearly would love to start all year. He's on a 1-year contract, or he has an opt out.
He has an opt-out.
He has an opt out, and if he pitches well as a starter, he can make a lot more money next year.
Right. I think he's destined for the bullpen. I really do, regardless of what happens. I think that the Reds look at what their depth is and where the biggest drop off would be, and in my opinion, they're going to think that would be in the bullpen. So they're going to say, okay. Unfortunately, it's one of those situations. You mentioned guys sometimes they have options, so they get the short end of the stick just because they're one of the few guys that have options and someone else doesn't. So they're the ones that actually get sent down when they probably shouldn't have. I think that's what's going to happen to Nick Martinez, personally. I think Lodolo, it's been mentioned 2 or 3 times now, I've heard. LaCure mentioned it during the pregame show that he felt like he had heard that Lodolo looks as good as he's ever looked. Now, again, it's opening day. Sometimes, the vibes get a little bit high. You say things maybe you don't totally mean. Maybe people over-exaggerate. You spice it up a little bit. But I do think that if Lodolo is able and he's ready to go, and let's just say Abbott doesn't lay an egg, if you will, and doesn't get shelled his first time out, I think that they'll move Martinez to the bullpen. They'll try to shore that up as much as, if not more, as they possibly can. And let's face it, being a starter versus a little bit of an extended reliever this time of year is not going to be significantly different. Now, obviously, depending on when you pitch, certainly is different. But we're talking about 3-4 innings sometimes at most, depending on how things go. Montas did an excellent job today. I didn't think in a million years you would consider him. We would get through 6 innings. But I think Martinez is destined for the bullpen, personally. I know you think differently.
I think Abbott's margin for error is smaller than you think. I think he's got to pitch really well because he has options. I don't know.
But you still have Williamson that eventually might come back as well.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think the Reds, if reading between some of I feel like I have done a pretty good job over the years of being a David Bell decipherer, and I feel like some of what he said about Nick Martinez makes me think they're really going to give him a chance to start if he pitches well. So we'll see.
We'll find out.
Good problems to have.
Yeah, it's a great problem to have. I also want to say, I know it's not a super, but that's okay. But Ron Kirby, you know Ron Kirby? It sounds like I think you do know Ron Kirby.
I do know Ron
Mom
Kirby.
and Dad are watching from Flagler Beach, Florida.
Let's go.
And they want to make sure that it stays family friendly. Well, here's the thing, Ron. It's a kid's show. And we keep it a kid's show around here. And by a kid's show, sometimes it's not a kid's show, but we'll try to make sure it stays that way.
Shout out to my parents. I got in last night.
Yeah.
They're gone in Florida, I guess.
Yeah, they just left you?
They just left me.
Yeah.
Left me 2 pages of notes on instructions.
Yeah. On how to live or what?
Everything.
Really?
Everything in between. So
what was the thing that you most took away from the notes that you remember right now?
Make sure to turn the heat back down to 65 before you leave, and do not leave any trash in the house.
What's the heat set at right now?
I turned it up to 68. I'm a cold guy.
Okay.
I was actually trying.
Why not 69?
Well, it was a kid's show. It might have actually been at that number, but I was trying to be polite.
Got it. I didn't know. I was just asking.
I was trying to keep it at 65. I was like, I'm just not going to turn it up at all so I don't forget. And then about an hour in, I was like, it's just a tiny bit too cold. I gotta go up a few ticks.
Okay. Looks like we got an update on the Pirates game. Pirates might get a cheap run in the 11th on a blocked plate call. Oh, no. You know what? Like, I love Major League Baseball for changing their rules, but it does feel like we're starting to get greedy now a little bit. I do know they're trying to protect guys, right? Certainly with the blocked base. The other day I seen a blocked base call when a guy was out by 4 feet, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, can we just use maybe our heads a little bit here? Like, let there be a little gray area with some of these rules. And if you do feel like there's an egregious blocking of the base, no problem. You can make the call. But some of these are a little absurd, so we'll find out. Hopefully that doesn't bite the Reds in the tail. But as we know, if it goes to replay review, what's the call, Nick?
Call on the field stands.
That's right. So get used to it. Other than that, what a great win. What a great day. We will be back in our own humble abodes on Saturday. And Nick would like for you to be patient with us until Sunday so we can get everything going. Can I do chat poll questions? I would love to do a chat poll question. I would like to know, is the intro too long?
I think I can do it. I think I can do it right here.
Is the intro too long?
I got a comment. I already got a tweet saying, "Don't listen to the haters. Don't listen to the haters.
That's
Love
right.
the intro, gets them fired up." So
That's right.
You know what I think?
What do you think?
I think we might want to make 2. I feel like after wins, people are fine with 4 minutes. I think after losses,
You're right. We'll lose the viewership. Yeah.
We might need to cut that.
Viewership will be gone. You can run a 3.5-minute intro after a blown save. I don't know though. Actually, they might stick around. That might be. I don't know. We'll have to test that. That's called
Bring the vibes back up.
A/B testing, I think, is what they call that in the industry. I'm not sure. What was I going to add? I was going to add something along the lines that was semi-important, but that's right. So some of you that have never been a part of the show, that's fine. We love you. We're glad that it's your first time. We do this after every game, which is wild. I mean, I don't know how we do it, but it's wild. But we also have some other rituals. Unfortunately, we're in a different place. So some people think that we probably are going to have a problem. The good news is that we've come semi-prepared. We have a couple rituals. One of them just happens to be that. You got to go to the right, maybe? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I have
the
no
middle
idea.
of your body.
People say I'm looking all over. I have no idea where to look.
Look. This is right in the middle of your your deal.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's where you want to be. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Now I'm not live, so but we'll get
Reed,
there.
can you see me?
There you go. I think you got it. I think you got it. So
I have no idea if
you're doing a great job.
Am I
Nick.
upside down?
You're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. That is number 1, by the way.
I think we should hold it like this.
Number 1. Yeah, that looks good. In fact, actually, you should do
It's
the
an
show.
improvement.
Do the rest of the show like that. Do the rest of the show like that.
Certainly looks better.
I'm being serious. That looks great. Keep it up. All right, let me get to these final.
What about the throw?
What's that?
The throw is
You're right.
part of it.
You're right. The throw is part of it. Damn.
Couldn't
All right.
bring it, man.
I gotta get to these super chats. Who's your daddy?
We still got more super chats.
Yeah, we got a couple more. Who's your daddy? Said Stu. You already seen that one. Stu is a poor man's Scotty Schebler. He mashes lefties. And then Chad, will you read Chad's?
I'm trying to see.
Here,
I just saw Nick Cage as a Nick Kirby
I'll
pillow,
give it to you.
I
Will you
can't
read
stop.
Chad's?
Stu sits the P. Come on, man. This is a kid's show.
Yeah, I mean,
Put some respect on Stu. He's gonna have a big year.
The other thing that we do is dunking basketballs. Now that makes things a little more difficult, but here's the thing.
Oh, we gotta do tomorrow's starters before you do that.
That's right, we do too.
Saturday starters.
Yes, Saturday starters.
Casey McAllister worked tirelessly
Yes,
on
he
this
did.
graphic, so we
Yes, he did.
absolutely.
It's
are
not
going
even
to-
done yet. Casey McAllister's not happy with this graphic right now. I know he's already cringing, and he's gonna make it even better. He says, but go through.
The amount of work this man put into
that's
this
right.
today was a leader of men's stuff. So shout out to Casey.
The whole entire graphic package. Saturday's probable starters. Nick, go ahead.
Hunter Green, looking for a big start out of Hunter. He's never faced the Washington Nationals before, so that'll be. I think that's a good thing. I think overall it's probably a good thing. Hopefully Hunter can, like I said earlier, really take the ball and take what Frankie did and roll with it. Reds going up against Patrick Corbin, arguably the worst pitcher in baseball. He's just signed a long contract with the Nationals, and they're pretty much riding it out, letting him eat innings. He did pitch pretty well against the Reds, though, last year. I think the Reds actually won 2 of the games last year on blown saves. He pitched really well, and it was the bullpen that did him in. But expect a different lineup on Saturday. Prepare you now when you see that float across Twitter, Facebook, or wherever you get your lineups. David Bell will have the full platoon lineup, and Nick Martini with 2 home runs will not be in the lineup on Saturday. People are going to be, I'm sure, a little upset with that. But yeah, 4:10, Valley Sports Ohio. We'll be live about 6:30.
That we will. Now there is a. I know you wanted a text box at the bottom, and we will get that for you, so you can note what those asterisks mean. But could you?
Asterisks were for last year. I mean.
Okay.
I
Asterisks.
kind of thought today would be self-explanatory.
Right.
That was, but
no, not to everyone.
Not
to
Sorry.
everyone. Not to our chat, but that's okay. They wanted to know, and that is a-okay.
I thought some people might have thought that Patrick Corbin was already 10-15 this year.
Yes. Big Love says the Game Time app doesn't give option for promo code. I think you got to go in the menu and go down maybe to promos and then punch in the promo code. There's some way. Maybe Nick was going to try to do this live in the flesh.
We'll see.
But some way, there is a way to put the promo code in there because I have done it myself. Once again, if you can, to support our show and help us out, if you are planning on getting tickets in the near future, go to the Game Time app, download it, enter the promo code CINCY, that's CINCY, and you will get $20 off your first purchase. All right, basketball. Now, some are saying, how are we going to do this? I don't know how we're going to do this.
I got it if you want me to do it real quick.
Yeah, how do you get there?
So on the app, if you click profile, bottom right, I am on iOS, so I don't know if you are. There's a redeem code right in there. You put it right in there. Okay. So profile, bottom right on your smartphone, then there's a redeem code option.
Yep. Here's the thing. Nate's asking about my sweatshirt. I'm going to be honest about my sweatshirt. I bought this a long, long time ago. Very long time ago. And I've worn this sweatshirt for a lot of meaningful games. And I almost burned it, if we're being completely honest, in 2012. I was this close to burning it. And I thought to myself, you know what? Sometimes the analytics community tells me you need a bigger sample size. So I just let it keep riding. So I am going to wear this thing through, and it's going to lead us to victory one day. And I've never smoked a cigar in my life, but you know what I did do? I went down to the Dominican Republic. Fortunately, I was in the Dominican Republic a few months ago, and I went to the cab driver. I said, "Do you know who Ellie De La Cruz is?" And he said, "No." I said, "Okay, next cab." Next cab rolls up. I said, "Do you know who Ellie De La Cruz is?" "No." I said, "Okay, next cab." True story. Third cab. Some say third time's a charm. I said, "Yeah. Do you know who Ellie De La Cruz is?" They said, "Yes, baseball player." I think they said a little bit like baseball. I said, "Do you know a cigar shop?" They said, "Yes." For the next 20 minutes, I was worried about my life. Very concerned that I might never come back to the United States, if we're being quite honest. But I went to the cigar shop, got some cigars, came back. Those are sitting currently in my house. I will put those on display, and we will smoke a cigar. We will smoke a cigar for the first time this year when the Reds make the postseason. That's the plan, and I'm going to stick to it. Nick, have you ever smoked a cigar?
If my parents are still watching, no.
Okay, no. Ron, never.
Never.
This year, yes, you will, in postseason. Good answer. All right, it's that time of the year. And by year, I mean show. I got a basketball. Now, some are wondering, this is like a Globetrotter ball. Some are wondering what I'm going to do. I'll be honest with you. One comes prepared. So, I just want to say before I sign off here, from the bottom of my heart to you, this is the real thing. I love you. The fact that you have this many people are this engaged in the chat that continue to support us night in, night out. I can't keep up with the super chats. Okay, I'm trying to get off the show, and you guys keep putting money in here, and I'm not getting off here until you guys stop doing that. So I would like my wife wants me to come home. My kids want to see me. I need to dunk a basketball. Ace Man, you're the man. Need a Martini homer? This super chat will make it happen. $100 on Saturday. Martini, I don't think is going to play Saturday. That's the shame. We'll see. But Mr. Analytic Guru over here and David Bell, the analytical genius that he is, those are all respectful things, of course. He will not play Saturday unless he pinch hit. But be prepared. I just want everybody to be prepared. I have heard through the grapevines that are the analytical community. And by the way, this is all a joke, okay? The people that are all analytic guys, I'm not killing you. I'm not trying to crush you down. You're smarter than me, okay? You're smarter than me. But I've heard Stuart Fairchild, Bubba Thompson, they're playing. Will Benson, Jake Fraley, Nick Martini, probably not. We'll see. We could be wrong. Maybe Will Benson gets snuck in there.
We got two more, I think.
What?
We missed one from Michael Rolfe, and I'm sorry. Normally,
like you said, I need to come home and I'll listen.
Normally, I have 3 screens at home, so it's a little bit easier.
Yes.
When we get into mid-season form, it's a little easier to keep track.
Last super chats, my wife spending our own money, telling me I don't need to come home. So that's that.
She wants to keep her super chat.
Go Cubs.
Yeah. Okay.
And she doesn't want to read or watch Cup. But
I-
Michael Rolfe said,
What?
$5 super chat challenge. Send one in for the squad if you have the means to show your appreciation for all the members of the C-Box team.
Okay. It's time to dunk a basketball. Okay. Overextended the stay. Reed is producing the show, who is a Cubs fan. But I got to tell you something. Reed was all in on the Reds today. He might not say that publicly, but he was betting all over the Reds. And
Left
you know
and
what?
right.
He just kept winning. And he won so much damn money today, he might be a closet Reds fan by the end of the day. So, Reed, hit the outro music. I plan to dunk a basketball. I don't know where. You're about to find out.